This weather, huh? Come on, Facebook. Here we go. We are on. Check my volume. Yep, we're good. Great. Okay. Well, good morning and welcome back to another WCN Live here from the Wilson County News Break Room. My name is Kristen Weaver. I am Director of Operations here, and today my guest is
Michelle King. I'm the Development Director for Children's Alliance of South Texas, the Child Advocacy Center.
Great. So nice to have you today. I'm looking forward to our conversation, and we hope that this reaches far and wide, and that you all plug into this as we get some people jumping on soon here. First, I would like to thank our sponsor for WCN Live. We have Professionals in Dentistry, where you can smile brighter at Professionals in Dentistry. They are a top-rated dentist in China Grove, San Antonio, so give them a shout-out. They are tagged in the description of this video, as well as our Children's Alliance of South Texas is tagged in the description of this video, so you can learn more from today's conversation. And before we get to talking, we need to do a little bit of, I need to have you draw me a winner.
All right.
So, every week when we're on Facebook, on WCN Live, we ask that you post a comment. You can say hi, ask a question, and then on the next week's video, we will draw a winner. So today we're drawing a winner. And we have Mary Lou Barrera Torres is our winner from our last WCN Live. So congratulations, Mary Lou. I will be reaching out to you on Facebook Messenger. She wins a C Street Gift Shop gift bag, little goodies from our gift shop in the front. So we'll be reaching out soon. So yeah, congrats. Remember to share this video, and I think while I'm doing this, I will share it to my page real quick. We're still waiting for a few people to jump on. Whoops. Watch today. I'll go clean it up later. All right. So today, as we said, let's start with introductions. Michelle, tell us a little about yourself, who you are, where you're from, your role.
Well, thank you. Originally, I was a teacher. I taught for 29 years and retired, so this is my second career. I've always had a heart for children, and so given my family personal history, my children are all adopted and 2 out of foster care, so the trauma of child abuse is very real. It's impacted my life personally because of my children, and it's been something that I wanted to help reach out into the communities and share information so these kids can get healing and get the justice that they deserve. So my role as the Development Director for Children's Alliance of South Texas, I've been in this role almost 2 years. And very thrilled to be a part of this wonderful organization.
Wow. Well, that's fantastic. Yes, this is an organization that we're familiar with. We've had on WCN Live over the years a few times, hearing from the group. So walk us back a little bit and tell us, when did the Children's Alliance develop here in our area? Give us a little bit of history if you can.
Okay. Well, Audrey Lewis and some other people came together. They realized that there was a great need for the children to receive services for healing and for justice. And so they became part of the Child Advocacy Center's programs, developing that for the 81st Judicial District, so 5 counties. Yeah. It was established in 2013, and it's been going strong ever since. Yeah. And we also provide some complementary services for outlying areas that do not have a CAC.
Wow. Yeah, that is pretty far-reaching. You were reminding me, like today, you're actually in the Poteet area. You came from there, but you're used to just driving all over through the 81st District.
Yes, ma'am. We cover a 5,000 square mile radius, so it's extensive.
Right. And so a little more about your role. What you're doing is, tell us what you do in your role.
So as the Development Director, what I do is basically education and outreach. I want to help the communities know that if they should need us, that we're there to assist, and the process that goes with that. I do training and education. We go into the school districts to train the staff before the school year starts. There is a House bill that requires that they have that kind of training. And yes, there's online presentations that a lot of school districts can opt to use, but it's not extensive. And as a former educator, I know that for a fact. After being in this role, like I was sharing with you earlier, after all those years of teaching, I thought I knew exactly what I needed to know to look for with the signs, symptoms, and behaviors that indicate child abuse.
Yeah.
And I did know some of it, but taking over this role, I've learned so much more. And that's why I try to stress to the superintendents of all the school districts that a live presentation that we offer is much more thorough, much more extensive, and from the reviews we've received is much more impactful for the staff. It actually increases the number of reports made, which means those children are going to get the healing that they need.
Wow.
So I go out, I organize community events, like we have our trunk or treat event here
Right,
every October.
right.
That's just so much fun, but it's a community awareness event. So we hand out literature to the families that are attending, and art contests for the students to submit artwork to
Right.
show about the healing, and the entries have been incredible.
Wow.
So it's rewarding to see that our community is aware that we're here. I still have more work to do with that, so I'm not done yet, but we want to send the message out to the children who are survivors of abuse that they're not alone in this. The community standing behind them, our organization standing behind them. We want to get everybody involved.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay, so we talked about the organization's history and the mission for the areas, right, that it
Yes, ma'am.
serves. So then how exactly what are the components, excuse me, what happens, or walk us through some of those scenarios? What do we need to know as far as how the process goes when someone reaches out, or how do those first steps actually take
Sure.
place?
Well, I want to start by saying a lot of times we get confused with CASA.
Okay.
And
yes.
CASA is a wonderful organization. We actually partner with them and the Children's Welfare Boards and some other organizations. We call ourselves ambassadors for the children.
Yeah.
But CASA is court-appointed special advocates.
Okay.
So they are the ones who are the voice for the children that are in foster care.
Okay.
So that's a great organization. If you ever want to volunteer, I
Yeah.
highly encourage that. But what CAST does is completely different. And
Okay.
the process is when a report has been made about suspected abuse, and I want to stress that you don't have to have proof that there's abuse. If you suspect it, you need to report it to law enforcement and Child Protective Services. Once that report's been made, they then refer the child and the non-offending parent or guardian to us. The parents can't just walk up to our door and knock on the door. A report has to be made first.
Okay.
Once that happens and they come to our offices, the first person they meet is going to be a family advocate. And that family advocate is going to stand with that family from the minute they walk through the door until they decide that they no longer need our services.
See.
However long that takes. That could be 6 months, it could be 15 years. So they're going to make sure that that family has food, clothing, shelter, any resources they may need. We connect with the community for that. And we have a rainbow room. They're also going to walk that family through the steps, what they're going to be engaged in, the process for
Right.
it. The next step is going to be a forensic interview. So instead of the child going to the police station, which we love our police officers, we're very thankful for them, but for a child that has experienced trauma, going in to tell their story in front of a police officer with a bulletproof vest,
Yeah.
a badge, a gun, in the same room where drug dealers or murderers are interrogated, that's going to be not the most appropriate setting for that child. So they come to us instead. We have professionally trained forensic interviewers who sit down in a child-friendly room. They're dressed more like a teacher, more comfortable, child-friendly, and allow that child to tell why they're there and walk them through non-leading questions to help them tell their whole story.
Right.
In the next room are the investigators, CPS investigators, law enforcement investigators, watching on a closed monitor screen. It's being recorded, so it reduces the number of times that child has to tell their story, reducing the trauma.
Wow.
Now, we'd love to say that they only have to tell their story one time. That's not going to be the case. But it does reduce that, and the investigators can go back then. If they have a question, something they might have missed or want to touch on again, they can watch that recording of that interview.
Wow.
And so from there, we offer trauma-based therapy. And it's TFCBT, trauma-focused cognitive behavior therapy. It helps reduce the reactionary behaviors that come with trauma. It helps the child understand that it's not their fault. They didn't cause it. They didn't deserve it. It helps to heal that inner trauma brain for the amygdala is constantly firing that fight or flight. And we have art therapists here at our Floresville office that do an incredible job with expressing how they're feeling in the healing process. Each office that we have, each service office, has a family advocate, a forensic interviewer, and a therapist on site. We are looking for a new therapist in our Cotulla office, so that's something that we're working on right now. But it's an amazing ability to reach these children where they need to be reached.
Right.
And then we work every month. We have our MDT, multidisciplinary team meeting, and that's where we sit down with law enforcement investigators, CPS investigators, and the DA's office to review all of our cases. And the reason for that is accountability with each other, to make sure we're on the same page, we're progressing the case if it needs to go to trial.
Right.
Accountability, sharing information. So that's something that is unique to a CAC, and we're very proud that we have incredible partners in that that are actively engaged.
Wow. That just sounds like, I mean, you really are, you're from the kind of the beginning parts, from the interview then to getting them help,
Yes.
the families, and walking them through the whole process is, that's your role,
Yes.
basically.
Yes, and everything is 100% free for the lifetime of the child.
Oh, wow. That
And
is
they provide
amazing.
services for the non-offending parents and siblings as well.
Yeah, that's incredible, just truly. So that's quite a process, and it's very important. So, are there what other information do you want to share, or do you normally share in a setting like this where you're building awareness? Are there statistics? Are there things that you want to delve into a little bit? Sure.
The sad truth is 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will experience sexual abuse by the age of 18 years old. That is a statistical fact. And while we would like to think it's not happening in our communities or in our family, I'm here to tell you that unfortunately it is. Out of the 5 counties that we provide services for, which are Atascosa, Frio, Karnes, Wilson, and LaSalle, Wilson County is leading in child abuse cases.
My goodness.
And unfortunately, it's the tip of the iceberg on the cases that we have reported, because a lot of people don't know the signs, symptoms, and behaviors to look for.
So it's probably more. But
It's a lot more. And people are sometimes afraid to report because it's a family member that's the offender. 98% of children who have been abused know their perpetrator. It is not stranger danger. It is a trusted family member or a trusted friend, possibly somebody in the ministry at the church or at the school. We're seeing an increase, unfortunately, in cases of inappropriate relationships with student-teacher. For offenders, a school, that's a smorgasbord.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the offenders know how to groom the community. They groom the people around them, the community members, the family, the child. And this really is heart-wrenching, that when it's rare that they do make an outcry, when it does happen, the groomer has been so effective that most of the time the community will rally around the offender and bash the child who has made the outcry.
Right.
So I want to stress strongly that if a child ever does find the bravery in them to make that outcry, please believe them. There's only 4 to 8% of cases where it is a false accusation.
4 to 8%.
4 to 8%, and that's usually when there's a divorce involved and there's a custody battle. And so
you kind of know the signs.
Yeah, we know the signs. So I would love to encourage you to join me for an online training.
Yeah.
It's called For the Love of Our Children. It's learning, observing, vigilance, and exposing abuse, love. And so we go through what is abuse. We give you the definitions of it. We talk about how the perpetrators groom, how they manipulate. We talk about the signs, symptoms, and behaviors that indicate abuse, because again, most kids are not going to make an outcry.
Right.
We have to know what the behaviors are that are screaming, help me.
Right. Wow.
So we talk through that. We talk about the judicial process that goes into it before a case ever gets to trial. All the work on the backside by our CAC and the investigators. So when a case does go to trial, if you're ever a juror, you're aware of what you're actually hearing. I have the utmost respect for attorneys, but defense attorneys' jobs are to stand next to their client.
Yeah.
They will sometimes state that the child's story has changed, when in actuality it has not. They have become more comfortable with their counselor, so they are sharing more information. But the original story remains the same. So we need to know kind of the verbiage, what to listen for and what to look for. So we're not saying, decide guilty or innocent before you ever go in, but just to be aware, educated before you take that jury box seat.
Wow.
So
that is pretty intense.
it is.
These conversations usually are, because this is pretty dooming of an issue that we are dealing with. Like you said, Wilson County leading. Did not know that.
Yes.
But yeah, let's. So when did you say when the online
We're going
training
to have
is?
the online training on May 20th.
Okay.
It's going to be from 6:30 to around 8:15 in the evening. You can watch online from home.
Okay. Great. Who's going to be presenting?
I'll be presenting. You can go to our website, which is castcac.org, castcac.org, and it'll have the registration information. Of course, it's free. You'll just need to reach out to me and
With registration.
with
Got it.
registration, and I'll
Yeah.
send you the link.
Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that'd be excellent. So I will be adding these details into the comments and description, so we can share this. Plus, we'll put it on our community calendar unless it's already there. But
It hasn't been put on your
we
community
need to put
calendar
it
yet,
there.
but it will be. Yes.
Definitely. I think this is wonderful
Thank
that you're
you.
doing this. Have you done any of these online? What do we call this? What is it
Community
called?
training.
The training. Yeah. Have you done it online
I
before?
have.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And the nice
Yeah.
thing about this is if you have family members that you're concerned about or you want them to have this information and they don't live in our area, they can
Yeah.
still join us.
Right.
So I know I've done many live presentations, and I'm very thankful that a lot of times Audrey Lewis, our district attorney, will join us, or Ryan Wright will join us to co-present. And some of the families that have attended or the adults, I will say this is not appropriate for children to attend. This is for adults. We do have presentations for students that we would love to take into the schools as part of the requirements for the training and awareness for the students.
Right.
But this is adults only
Yeah.
for this one because
Yeah.
of the content matter, and we go into actual case stories.
Okay.
So it's not something we want the children to be exposed to.
Right.
But some of the families that have attended the live trainings would love for their family members in other places
Yeah.
to have the information as well. So of course they can join us online.
That's great. What a resource. Truly amazing. Yeah. Well, that was a lot. Hope you caught all of that. Thank you all for joining. Sharon, good morning. Candace, good to see you all. Derek, yes, thank you for serving our community, he says.
Thank you.
Corey, good to see you. This video really needs to be shared. We need to bring awareness to what the Children's Alliance of South Texas is doing, and just keep that information out there as
appreciate
much
it.
as we can. I guess with that, how do we show support for what you're doing? What can we
Of course, financial support is always needed. We do have grants and things like that. We do fundraisers, but with VOCA, Victims of Crimes Act, being cut this year, we started off our year $100,000 in the deficit. So we've been working diligently to make that up because we don't want to cut any services. So
Right.
those services are free, like I said. So financial support is always crucial. But of course, if you want to volunteer,
There you
I would
go.
love to have you come and sign up. You have to go through some trainings and some background checks, of course, before you can volunteer. But if you want to go with me to attend presentations or possibly train to be a presenter yourself, I'd be happy to have you in that capacity.
Wow.
You can work in our service offices. Again, you have to pass background
Right,
checks
right.
and check off certain boxes, but you would be able to work on site with our service offices. Or if you wanted to host a fundraiser or provide snacks, we do Shoes for Smiles. So our clients rather don't go back to school with shoes that don't fit. Christmas, we do December to Remember, so you can provide Christmas gifts for our families in need.
Great. Very good information. Cool. All right. Well, share again where we can go to learn more information about CAST. You had mentioned the website earlier, and
Yes,
I guess
ma'am. So we have our website, of course, castcac.org. We are on Facebook and Instagram. We also have a YouTube channel, but most of our YouTube videos are posted onto our social media sites as well. But we'd invite you to join us and follow us.
Awesome. Good deal. Okay, and as a reminder, let them know again, and good morning, Priscilla, and hi, Ruben. Thanks for joining us. Everyone can look out for the online training that you're going to have May 20th.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
Tell us what that is one more time.
Okay, so that is going to be online, 6:30 to around 8:15 p.m. You can watch it from the comfort of your home. You'll be able to find the information of how to register on your website. I'll share that information, post that there, but it'll also be on our CASCAC website and on our social media. You just need to contact me. It's development@cascac.org is my email. Or you can call our office at 830-393-6290, extension 4018 to register. I'll send you the link, and we'll see you on that live training.
Great. Thank you so much. We're really happy to share this information today. Thank you for joining us and coming so far.
I really appreciate it.
And all that you do in the community. So it's always good to see you again, too.
Thank you.
I hope you got something out of this as well. And I want to thank our sponsor today for WCN Live. We have Professionals in Dentistry, the top-rated dentist in China Grove, San Antonio, where you can smile brighter at Professionals in Dentistry. Share this video far and wide, and remember you can join us again on Wednesday at 10 a.m. next week when we'll have another guest with us. So we'll see you then. Bye.